Welcome back to the Babbling Bards podcast.
A podcast made by XENITES.
For XENITES.
I'm Liliana.
I'm Trista, and we're your happy hosts. Today's episode, we're going to be covering...
A Fistful of Dinars.
Originally called Three for Godhood the Hard Way.
Right.
Yeah.
That was the original title.
Yeah. I don't
understand.
like it. It doesn't
flow.
It doesn't roll off the tongue
No.
the way it should.
Yeah. I like A Fistful of Dinars better.
Why?
Because it just sounds better.
It does.
It does. And, original air date, January 29th, 1996.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, we apologize for the delay. Again. As you can hear, I've been a little under the weather.
Again.
Okay, that's enough, peanut gallery.
Well, it's true.
And then real life crap keeps happening, like
Yeah.
work and missing work,
Being sick again.
being sick again.
You gotta stop that.
I know.
Load you up with some orange juice. Lay off the Code Red for a little bit, the orange juice.
Bullshit on that. The boy child number 1, his water dragon died yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
I was very sad.
the first day that I felt okay enough to venture out, we had to go to the pet store because Liliana's all, let's go get him another one, it'll soften the blow.
Is the blow a little bit. So we got him a new one. A little tiny little baby one. It's really cute.
It's spunky.
It is. He's all over the place.
Yeah.
He or she, whatever it decides to be.
You don't know what they're gonna be until they grow to be about a foot long, so.
And even then, they decide whether they're gonna be male or female. How does that work? I didn't know that.
You know, there's a percentage of human beings that decide that
Well,
as well.
yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, hey.
But yeah, I guess when the water dragons reach a certain age, they can decide what they want to be. That's crazy.
So can humans. Age 18.
Right?
Yeah, and some that have more accepting families
Yeah.
earlier. Which, I mean, hey, to each their own.
Yep. But anyway,
So,
we go on a treasure hunt today.
yeah?
Yeah!
We're gonna go look for the Sumerian's treasure, aren't we?
Sumerian treasure.
Have you heard of it?
Yes?
So, in today's episode,
Dun, dun, dun.
it's a pretty fast-paced episode.
Yeah,
I think it's really well done.
it is.
Um,
It is. I like it.
I give it like a 4.
Yeah, like a 4.5. I liked
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Liliana
I like it.
always got to one-up me. She gives it half a point better than I do.
Would you prefer I give it a 3 3/4?
No, it deserved more than that.
Or a 4?
No, give it a 4.5. That's your opinion.
4 1/4?
Okay.
4.5. Okay.
4.5 chakrams.
4.5.
I give it 4 chakrams.
chakrams.
The chakram is absent in this episode,
As is the staff.
as is the staff.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't notice that till I pointed it out.
Right. I didn't.
This is like
Right.
the second time we've attempted recording because we keep getting interrupted. Like, do
Yeah.
these people not know that Xena's more important
Right?
than knocking on the door to see if we've accepted Jesus Christ as our personal Lord and Savior? I mean, I'm not hating on the religion, man, at all.
Oh.
And we
There you
actually didn't get one of those
No. we didn't.
today.
Right? Okay.
Today.
Not today.
There was the one time with the Jehovah's Witness that came to the door.
Uh-huh.
And I'm accepting of any and all religions. I really am.
Right.
But, coming to ring the doorbell? Do you know you could be on your way to hell? Do you know that according to the Bible that you read, you are? So, invited them in, broke it down scripturally, offered them something to drink, they got out, they never did come back. It almost hurt my feelings, if I had any.
That's funny. Oh, yeah. But anyway.
Anywho,
Back to treasure hunting.
back to treasure hunting. We have Jeremy Roberts in this episode, which is a good actor. He's kick-ass at making you hate his freaking guts.
Right? The characters he plays, you just hate.
Yeah. He's in this episode, and he's also in Paradise Found, where he plays Aiden.
Right.
And also, he's got a familiar cast buddy in this one.
Uh-huh.
With Merv Smith, who plays Gar in Paradise Valley.
Right.
He's the one that's in Patroclus' tent.
Right,
One of the cattle.
One of the villagers.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
We've got a nice little ensemble cast, and then the fella that plays the priest of Demeter.
I can't remember.
I actually think it was Dreamworker.
Was it?
I think it was.
I don't know. I can't remember what other episode
I believe it was Dreamworker.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I think so. I think he was the guy. I think he was the priest that was over Monas in Dreamworker.
Probably, but I can't say for 100%.
God, neither can I. It's driving me up the wall.
But,
it's a short drive, but...
We'll look it up. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, they make Google. I always forget. I rely too much on the memory.
The Googler.
Yeah. So, anyway, we have a couple of recurring faces that we'll see in this episode. And then we open.
Open with... what's his name? Starts with a K.
With a gentleman named Clonig.
Yeah, that.
Who is chasing...
Lycus.
There's a young fellow.
And the actor...
What's his name? Richard Folks?
Yeah, I think so.
Richard Folks.
So the actor that plays Lycus, in order to prepare for this episode, which he was only in for like less than a minute, he went 3 days without eating or sleeping. So he can have that deathly look to him, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, not even a minute in this episode, and he went 3 days.
And that little tidbit straight from Lucy Lawless's mouth.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to take it from us. There's a book called The Official Guide to the Xenoverse by Robert Weisbrot.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And
oh yeah.
That's where we found it.
Yeah. 3 days, no food or
I could
sleep.
do that. I could do no food or sleep. I couldn't go 3 days with no code red.
It's your ambrosia.
It's my ambrosia.
Speaking of,
it's ambrosia in a can.
So yeah.
Speaking of, this is also the first appearance of ambrosia.
Ambrosia
That we see in the Xena series is going to play a bigger role in the episode The Quest and a necessary evil.
Yeah.
But this is just dipping your toes in the ambrosia right now.
Right.
So.
Alright. So yeah. So Lycus gets killed by that Clonig character.
And at this point, Lycus and Xena are the only two people that know about the Titan's Key.
Right.
Being hidden in with the Sumerian treasure.
And with the Titan's Key, you find ambrosia.
Right.
So,
they're also the ones that are privy to that as well.
Yeah. So they want to keep everybody else from discovering that, and people like Thersiades becoming gods.
Right.
So, and then we have that Clonig person gets killed by Thersiades. And this is where we come to our first oopsie.
Yeah.
Actually, isn't it a double oopsie?
It's a double oopsie.
It's a double oopsie. So when Xena pulls out the Sumerian coin out of the pouch, you got your shot from the front, and then they do a quick shot from the back.
Right.
And you notice that it's just the back of the coin. And then we go back to the front shot, and then all of a sudden Xena pulls out the map from behind the coin, which wasn't there before.
Right.
And then she eats it.
First
she memorizes it, then she eats it.
I'm going to point out something, though.
What's that?
Xena and Gabrielle went without being seen doing anything. For like the duration of the episode. We know they were friends. But I'd venture to say Xena and Gabrielle both are pretty good at sleight of hand. So maybe Xena palmed the treasure map.
Maybe.
You don't know.
I don't know.
Second half of the oopsie.
Yeah.
Is the marking on the coin itself. The cross on it's actually the cross of the Roman Catholic Church. Which you would know because you grew up Catholic.
Yeah, but I never even noticed that.
You didn't pay attention.
No.
But now there wasn't an organized religion for the Roman Catholic Church at this point.
Uh-huh.
And there also was no Jesus being crucified on the cross. So the cross would have had no significance
Right.
at that point from a religious spectrum for anybody to deem it necessary enough to put on a coin.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it was used historically and accurately. Maybe. And I only say maybe because, historically speaking, there are so many symbols that are identified with religion now, like the Star of David and the crosses, and some of the Wiccan symbols, and even the swastika.
Right.
Are all ancient symbols that stood for something at one point entirely different than what they stand for now.
What they are now. Right.
A symbol's just that. It's whatever somebody makes it.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yep.
But, so anyway, I thought it was kind of cool that they used specifically the Roman Catholic symbol. And I'm sure Lucy Lawless noticed that because she's devoutly Roman Catholic.
Yeah, she is.
Anywho, that's my little nitpick.
Okay.
So I kind of wonder what that symbol meant to the Sumerians.
I don't know.
Because there was no Jesus. Not at that point in time.
There was not. Okay, so then we end up back at camp with Gabrielle.
Yes.
With Thersites in tow.
Gabrielle being Gabrielle, she's like, "Hey, who's that?" He's
Go
like, "Get
away.
away from me.
Go away.
Go away."
But,
and then, Xena, you can see kind of her spidey senses tingle just a little bit when he talks to Gabrielle like that.
Well, yeah.
So this episode is ranked one of the most and least subtext-friendly episodes in the series.
Huh. Most and least?
Most and least. Simply because you have a flavor of the week for Gabrielle, and you have Gabrielle's attention seemingly turning away from Xena.
Uh-huh.
But you see Xena's feelings focus more on Gabrielle.
Right.
In this episode, and you can also see the development of the relationship between the two in the episode, and some of the things that's said and done throughout Fistful of Dinars.
Okay.
So,
alright.
That's how you get the most and the least. I was very confused when I read that because
Yeah.
I went through about 60 some odd channels looking for subtext because it was crazy hard to dig subtext up for this episode.
For this one. Yeah.
Because I saw so many, this is the least subtext-friendly episode. This is the least subtext-friendly.
Right.
And then we had other people that were like, no, there's a lot of subtext in this one. You just gotta know where to look. And so I pulled a little from both, and
yeah.
and it's actually ranked, like the percentages were crazy high. Like, yeah, one person rated it 57% subtext friendly, and then somebody rated it 43% least subtext friendly. So, I mean, there's some confusing episodes out there for people.
Yeah.
We know. Because I have trouble grasping it.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how I feel?
Sorry, I just laughed because Trista's voice kind of dropped a second ago.
I almost sounded like Michael Jackson for a minute.
So yeah, if you notice her voice kind of in and out like that, it's because, well, yeah, not feeling too good, but anyways.
You can't keep a Xenite down. You can't do it.
Oh, man.
So.
Alrighty, back to the show.
I thought we were the show.
Episode, back to the episode.
Okay.
So, where are we now?
We're sitting in our room.
Okay, no, episode.
Yeah, we are.
Well, I know.
Okay.
Episode.
Oh, so Thersites not very nice to Gabrielle.
No, he's not.
Which is kind of gloomy. It is, and then Xena's pretty much, telling him, hey, just watch your actions, pretty much. She didn't say watch your actions.
No.
She warns him.
Right.
And she realizes that there's still one clue out.
Right.
They've got to go find Patroclus.
Right. But is this where she asks Gabrielle if she knows about the Sumerian treasure?
Because Gabrielle's like, well, what were they after?
Right. And then,
she edges Gabrielle kind of away from Thersites.
Thersites, right. So, I mean, and Gabrielle knows that something else is up because...
She's Gabrielle.
She knows that Xena wouldn't be going after a treasure unless there was a reason.
Right.
And so that's when she mentions about...
Although I'm sure they could have used part of it.
Well, right? And then she mentions about the Titan's Key. And how, with the Titan's Key you find ambrosia. And Gabrielle, ambrosia.
Food of the gods?
Anyone who eats it becomes a god. So...
And Xena's like, we don't want Thersites turning into one.
No, we do not. That would be bad.
They're trying to go off to find it. And then, it's brought up that they need another clue.
Right.
They gotta go find Patroclus. And Gabrielle's like, well, what kind of man is this? Mm-hmm. And Xena said, he's a conniving, lying bastard, pretty much.
Pretty much.
And,
and yeah, we were to be married.
Well, Gabrielle makes the comment, oh, it sounds like you two know each other. And Xena said, well, we were to be married. And then she just kind of walks off, and Gabrielle's like, what? Now, this is where a lot of people start pointing a finger at Gabrielle.
Uh-huh.
Because your best friend you tell everything to, for the most part.
Uh-huh.
Your lover, or significant other, or spouse, you're supposed to tell everything to. Some people point out that this starts Gabrielle's path of getting even with Xena, getting back at Xena, because Xena withheld the fact that she was to be married.
Right.
Aside from with the Titans, where we see just an immaturity standpoint, because we see Gabrielle has matured a little bit at this point, and so as a more mature person, you're more cognizant of what you do to your significant other. So Gabrielle's mind, people perceived her as being kind of underhanded with the way that she went about getting to know Patroclus.
Right.
And everything. And honestly kind of villainized her, I guess, which I had a problem with.
Yeah? Okay.
But I got in a pretty hefty discussion with somebody about that on one of the Xena boards. Yeah. It wasn't like... Because I left a comment, I'm like, I don't see how she's the villain of this episode. Like, I don't understand. And so the person's like, I'm going to PM you. Accept my PM right now. I'm like, okay, bitch. So we went on for like a fisticuffs for a bit. Because she's like, she did it to intentionally hurt Xena, and you don't hurt people that you love. And I'm like, did you not hear the 80s song? There was literally an entire 80s song called Love Hurts.
Love hurts.
Very good. But,
wow.
But yeah, so some folks very strongly believe that this was Gabrielle's cycle of getting even with Xena as far as their relationship goes.
Okay, to each their own.
Right?
I don't see that.
I don't either, at all. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let us know what you think.
Maybe we should poll the audience on that one. What do you guys think?
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I don't either, but that was a little different.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Uh-huh.
We have Xena and Gabrielle going into Patroclus' camp.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Murph Smith begging for the cattle and the horses.
Right.
And we hear Gabrielle being Gabrielle. Hey, put a cold compress on that, it won't swell.
After Xena's knocked them out. But, then she walks in and, Patroclus.
Patroclus, yeah.
So Gabrielle hands him the Sumerian coin. And he's completely forgot about everything else. He's just focused on that coin now.
Yeah.
Because, treasure.
He's a Sumerian treasure.
Yeah.
And Xena's like, I have 2 clues. I need another one.
Right. She has 2. No, she has 3.
She has 3.
Because Thersites has 2. She's got 1, and Patroclus has the last. And so he's all like, okay, yeah, tell me more. And, what is it? The villagers are all like, oh, our cattle. And she's all like, give them their cattle. Take your cattle. Give them their horses.
Well, we can't round up the cattle without horses.
Give them their horses. Fine, take them.
Horses.
Take them and go. Go on, get out of here. Shoo. And so, he's like, oh, yep, Tell me about the treasure. Tell me more.
Tell me more. Tell me more. Yeah.
Okay. So we get back to the camp. And of course, Thersites was just expecting Xena to bring the clue and not Patroclus.
He looks kind of sad to see Patroclus.
Yeah, because now
And annoyed.
Because now he figures, we're gonna have to split the treasure, so that means he'll get less. So this is when he's like, since I have 2 clues, I think I should get half the treasure.
And Gabrielle reminds him, hey, there's 4 of us.
There doesn't have to be.
Well, he tells her, and then Xena, at that point, grabs him by the chin hairs.
Right.
She's like, be nice. That's all she says, and then she, rips the hairs out.
Ouch.
It's like, oh, Xena rough.
Right?
But that's okay.
Yeah, that's alright. So, and then...
Yes. Liliana's mind just went blank. You should see it.
You used to see it?
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my god, what happened next?
you tell me. Back in St. Olaf.
I can say... No, we're not watching the Golden Girls.
Picture it. In a time of ancient gods, warlords, and kings. A land in turmoil cried out for a hero. So, isn't it the Horde guys?
The Horde guys.
They're the Pisons?
Oh, okay, the bridge thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, this is... We see Gabrielle trying to build rapport with Patroclus first, though.
Right. That's
Before
right.
The bridge. They have a conversation,
Yeah.
and they're just kind of...
She pretty much tells him that,
They're walking along, and he's smooth talking Gabrielle.
Right. Yeah.
You can see Gabrielle with the naivety coming back. Mm-hmm. And she's doing the little schoolgirl blushing because the cute guy's talking to her, and he's clearly her flavor of the week this week. And you see Xena look back, which is a subtext moment for many viewers. She looks back. She's like, "Hey, Gabrielle, why don't you walk up here with me?"
Right.
And then she tells Gabrielle, "Stay away from
him.
that man."
Right.
And there's sort of a callback to the Titans episode. Because you see this little tiff between Xena and Gabrielle, and Gabrielle raises up the argument, you need to treat me like an adult.
Right.
I'm not a kid.
Yeah.
So they get there's a little friction there. And that's, a lot of people perceive that as, once again, Gabrielle's got in her head that she's got to convince Xena that she's not a kid, that she is an adult.
Right.
And a lot of people perceive it as Gabrielle, getting upset because Xena's not treating her as an equal, and they're in this relationship, whatever the point of their relationship is.
Right.
Up to this moment. But they're like, if they're in a relationship, of course she's going to be pissed off, like,
well,
I'm good enough for you to have sex with, but you can't treat me like an adult.
Right. Yeah.
So that's one of the main subtexty arguments there. But anyway, I digress.
Okay. All right.
Then the Pisons interrupt their...
Yeah, we hear this drumming and this figure behind leaves and branches.
As they're walking into the woods, and if you look at the scene, there's another oopsie. The horny guy that's playing the drums. Yeah.
Okay.
The sound of the drums on the track that they play in no way matches his movements.
No, it doesn't.
And he's got like a skin drum, which wasn't uncommon back in those times.
Right.
It's like deer skin or something stretched over it, and it's not tight. The skin's not tight at all. So given the structure of how loose the skin was, it wouldn't even make that particular drumming sound.
No, it wouldn't.
So that's a little nitpick on my part.
Because you can see how loose it is. But yeah. And so...
And I get a little anal about, like, music stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I play 8 different instruments, and drums is one of them, so I nitpick the hell out of it. I have a skin drum. It's in the closet.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And then we come up to the bridge.
Over troubled waters.
No.
I'm sorry.
So, got this not so stable looking bridge.
Oh, it's totally stable.
Nothing. I don't know.
So, Patroclus goes across first.
Right.
To secure
the other side. And then
Xena, because at this point, the Pisons, which remind me of the Horde guys, they're not the Horde. They're two entirely different things.
Right.
But that's what it reminds me of.
Yeah.
They're shooting arrows at them. Not a friendly welcome.
No.
For the warrior princess entourage.
Right.
So, Xena, of course, being concerned with Gabrielle's safety,
sends her
across first, and I don't know, I love Renee O'Connor.
Uh-huh.
I do. She's probably one of my favorite people.
Right.
But I don't understand the way she was walking across that bridge at all.
She was being cautious.
No. It wasn't just being cautious. It was like... You remember on, Star Trek? 1970 Star Trek? How all their special effects were literally just them shaking in their...
Uh-huh. Okay.
And, their seats? That's kind of what she's doing, almost to mimic the bridge looking unstable. More unstable than what... She's, pitching herself back and forth from foot to foot. It's swinging, but it's not. But that's also the trademark of a theatrical actress.
Oh, yeah?
And, we gotta keep in mind, this is still season 1.
Right.
And Renee is seasoned at being a stage actress.
Right.
I think we've talked in the last episode
Yeah.
about how she arced entirely as an actor.
Mm-hmm.
Because she used all the hand gestures and the
Right.
and the over-animated gestures and everything, and that kind of tapered off, towards the end of the series as she grew as an actress. And now it was like watching her on stage, dinner with friends, it was, she almost lost that. Well, not so much lost it, but it was just more natural mannerisms than what they teach you to do in theater. Because theater, it's all about the big gestures and the big movements, and that's because in ancient times, like now, ancient times, because the stage was so far away from the audience, they had to use all the big gaudy makeup and the big gestures and everything like that, because your audience way in the back, if you aren't making the gestures huge, couldn't see it. So that's where a lot of theatrical actors get their training, and that's kind of the background she came from. But anyway, the bridge thing always stuck out to me. I'm like, see, that's a theatrical actress right there. But amazing woman.
Yeah.
Amazing actress.
Yep, she is.
But, that bridge scene was rough.
But yeah, okay. So,
She's crossing, and Thersites kind of shoves Xena out of the way, because
he's
a chicken shit.
He's getting impatient.
No, he's just
scared.
a chicken shit.
Well, yeah, because arrows are, shooting at his feet.
Yeah.
So, he's all like, screw this shit, I'm going. And kind of shoves Gabrielle along on the bridge.
He's like, move it or die.
Right?
That's what he tells her.
The bridge being unstable as it wasn't able to hold the weight of two people at once.
Right.
So it starts crumbling, and
I always felt bad for Gabrielle's hands.
Ooh,
because when she goes down, and you guys will notice when the bridge starts breaking,
and
the rope snaps, Gabrielle's on her knees before the bridge ever even breaks. We're not sure how she got there. I don't know if Thersites might have pushed her so hard she fell down, which is completely possible.
Right.
But when it falls, she's already grabbed onto one of the planks. And when it swings, she goes right into the side of the Rocky Mountain.
Yeah.
So it had to hurt her hands, man.
Fingers had to have gotten smushed.
Yeah. I always felt bad for her fingers.
Yeah. And then you got the dumbass Thersites, who just literally climbs right over her and steps on her head and everything, He doesn't care if she falls down or not. He just wants to save himself.
Right.
So, and then we have Xena. She's got sort of this, pissed off look on her face.
But she's trying to be calm at the same time.
Yeah. And then she
and you hear Gabrielle on the other side, Xena, help, I can't hold on.
Right. And then she goes and does her little flip across the area there.
The gorge.
Right. Lands right next to Gabrielle on the broken bridge.
Yeah.
Helps her up.
It was the first Brokeback Mountain. I'm sorry. That was poor taste. I'm sorry.
Moving along.
Well, then, people look at this area also as being subtext.
Uh-huh.
Because a lot of people didn't look at it as Xena just trying to save Gabrielle's life.
Right.
They looked at it as Xena trying to cop a feel as well, because of the way that she grabbed Gabrielle around the waist. They're like, oh, she could have grabbed her from anywhere.
Uh-huh.
She chose to grab her very intimately around the waist. I didn't view it that way, personally.
I didn't either. She's just trying to grab her so she wouldn't fall and help her up.
If I would view anything as subtext in this scene, it wouldn't be the hand placement.
Right.
Which, I mean, yeah, there were any other area on... I mean, she could have grabbed a hand or an arm or, whatever.
Right.
She did choose to grab her waist, but if anything would be considered subtext to me, it would be the fact that she didn't know if she was going to make that jump.
Right.
She literally risked her life for Gabrielle, just to make sure Gabrielle was okay.
Right.
So, if anything, that would have been...
That would be it.
That would be the subtext in my mind.
Yeah.
And same with Gabrielle. Petrocles was right there. She wasn't yelling for Petrocles. Right. She knew Xena was all the way on the other side. Mm-hmm. But she was also 100% confident that out of anybody there that would rescue her...
It would be Xena.
It would be Xena.
Right.
That, to me, is where the subtext lays more than anything else in that scene.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then... so when they get up to the top... you gotta pay attention to Gabrielle.
Always look at the background, guys.
And Thersites in the back. Because Gabrielle just starts wailing on him. You scumbag! And starts just, pounding on him. Yeah. Like, what? What did I do?
And so, that evening, Gabrielle's getting a fire started.
Right.
And Xena asks her if she's okay. Mm-hmm. And Gabrielle's like, yeah, I'll be fine. That man scares me,
Thersites.
Thersites scares me. And Xena tells her, well, honestly, I'm more worried about Petrocles. At least Thersites is up front.
Right. I mean, he tells it how it is. If he's going to kill you, he's going to say he's going to kill you.
Right.
Whereas Petrocles is more cunning.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, whatever he's got planned, he's not going to let you know.
Not until he does it.
Right.
So, that's a nice little segue scene, because Gabrielle's still thinking that that she's letting her feelings about him cloud her judgment, even though she doesn't say it.
Right.
Or her feelings about what went down between the two of them cloud her judgment.
Yeah. And
so Gabrielle goes to get firewood. And Xena, we have going over and talking to Thersites, and she tells him, I won't forget what happened today.
Right.
And she's like, you almost got Gabrielle killed. And he's like, that's what you're worried about? He's like, she's useless. Or she's worthless. She doesn't have a clue.
She doesn't have a clue.
And Xena, he's counting the money that he's taken off of his former employer.
Right.
That was coming after them. And she grabs his hand and he drops everything he's counting. Mm-hmm. And she's like wrenching it.
Yeah, pretty much. You hurt, or you kill her, I kill you.
She dies, you die.
You die. Right. Right. So.
So then we cut to
Gabrielle and
to Petrocles, and Gabrielle has brought the firewood she's collected to where Petrocles
he's
is.
at.
And she's like, I was gathering firewood. And he's like, and you're bringing it here? And she's like, yeah, that is kind of weird, isn't it? And he's like, what's going on? And she says, well, this is another subtext area for some people. She says, I want you to tell me what happened between you and Xena. And
Right.
some people perceive that as her being a lover interested in her significant other's past. Because Xena's clearly felt the need to keep it from her.
Right.
And she wants to know
She wants to know what
why.
happened. Yeah.
So people perceive that as her being, her going there as a way to figure out what happened without Xena knowing.
Right.
And Patroclus kind of turns tables on her.
Uh-huh.
He's like, well, what has she told you? And she's like, nothing. And he tells Gabrielle about how the relationship was about conquering each other.
Right.
And he thought that if he could get Xena to marry him, he would conquer her. And Gabrielle says, boy, I bet you were in for a surprise. And he's like, no, it worked.
It worked. Yeah.
He's like, I owned her. And then he decided he didn't want her anymore.
Right. Like, I got it. I don't want it now. So.
And Gabrielle told him, that was cruel.
Yeah.
And he's like, happens to me even now when I'm like raiding villages. I'll decide I don't want it anymore. And I don't want their spoils. I don't want their money. I don't want any of that stuff. And she tells him, well, that must be an empty experience. And then he starts sweet talking her.
Sweet talking.
About, and then tells her she's smart and she's beautiful. And then he kisses her. And she looks kind of cautious and weirded out and like, wait a minute, at first. And then she pushes away. And she goes back to the campfire. And she sits down next to Xena, almost like somebody pointed out on one of the subtext boards. She sits down next to Xena almost like, I'm supposed to be here. That's right. I'm supposed to be with this person, not that person. And she sits down and she looks so guilty.
Like she just did something wrong.
Yeah. And Xena kind of looks at her and she looks away and she starts playing with the fire. And then Patroclus comes up and drops the firewood down.
Yeah. And then
Xena looks between the two of them like,
right.
Something happened. I don't know what. Something happened.
Right.
So while everybody's sleeping,
she goes to
behind
Patroclus, puts the fingers to his neck, and you know what I can do.
Yeah.
Spill the beans.
She tells him, stay away from my friend.
Right.
Which again, people look at as a subtext moment. Stay away from my friend. I've seen your line of seduction before. You're not gonna do that to her.
Right. Because that's what he did to her.
Right. It's like, you hurt her, I'll rip your throat out.
Your throat out. Oh, that might hurt a little bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then
the next day.
The next day is when we come to the three heads. The three giant heads.
And the camo oopsie.
The what oopsie?
The camo oopsie.
The camo oopsie.
Yes, I named it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, first they go to the Temple of Demeter.
Oh, yeah, because they gotta get the ruby.
They gotta get the ruby. So they get the ruby from the temple.
Yeah.
And then we're at the three statues.
Yeah, okay. But we got our first televangelist at the Temple of Demeter.
Yeah.
Demeter, they call it.
Demeter, the Temple of Demeter. Demeter. The Temple of Demeter.
You know why they didn't walk a mile?
Why?
They walked Demeter. This sickness is impairing my thinking. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I found it amusing that they said
Demeter
instead of Demeter.
I can understand the Kiwis saying.
Yeah.
Demeter.
Yeah.
Because most of them call Xena Zener.
Zener.
I can understand that. I can't understand Renee O'Connor,
Demeter.
who's from Texas, saying Demeter. Because in the South, in Georgia, we're taught that it's Demeter. And I think all over the United States, it's taught that it's Demeter.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But then part of me is like, well, maybe she altered her speech so that it lined up with everybody else's. Which is a possibility.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, anyways.
They go, and then, the priest looks kind of doubtful. And then Gabrielle offers him the Sumerian coin.
Right.
And he's like, oh, true believers. So, it's your first Joel Osteen, everybody. But, anyway.
So they get the ruby.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're at the 3 heads with no eyes.
No eyeballs.
So this is where everybody's clue comes into play.
Right. Now, these 3 heads with eyeballs.
Yes.
It's one of the most popular bloopers in season 1. On the blooper reels.
Right.
Because you've got Lucy Lawless trying to put the ruby into the eye.
Right, and it keeps falling out.
Uh-huh. And so she's like, damn it, God damn it, fuck. You know,
right.
Just over and over. Trying to put it in. So the prop team rigged this little deal up.
Uh-huh.
They used a suction cup so that when she slid the ruby into place behind the eye,
It would grab it.
it would grab it. And then the person on the other side would pull back on the suction cup.
Uh-huh.
So that it looks like it's sinking into the eye.
Yeah.
So you can actually see
You can tell, you can see
that it's being pulled backwards.
Right.
So you guys keep a lookout for that.
Right.
It's hard to spot, but once you do, you'll never be able to unsee it.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, And then the next morning, the sun hits the ruby.
Right.
Which leads...
After they deduce that,
Which
the teacher-student is not incorrect. So they deduce that with the help of Gabrielle to mean the pupil of an eye.
Right. And
Is
not incorrect.
not
It's a double
incorrect.
negative, so right
so
eye.
It's right. So it's the right eye.
And then they figure out that it's the middle one, the middle statue.
Because the map showed the sun neither coming from the east nor the west.
Right.
So it had to be the middle.
The middle one. So then morning, sun hits the eye. The beam shoots through the ruby.
And the treasure is a rock.
The treasure... No, it's not a rock.
Well, that's what society
I
said.
know. That's what he thought. It's a rock. Treasure's a rock. He wasn't too happy. But then the entrance, breaks open. And they fall through the floor. The ground.
Because Xena says, whatever you do, don't pull the ring.
Don't pull that ring.
And then Patroclus says, don't what?
Don't what?
And
Pull the ring.
Okay.
Okay. Floop. He pulls it. And down they go, and they fall right into the Sumerian treasure.
Yes.
So,
And then everybody gets excited. They're all looking around, and Xena and Gabrielle automatically start looking for the Titan's key.
Looking for the key. And who happens to find the key but Thersites? So he puts this big ol' necklace chain around his neck and, starts reading what it says on the key.
And nobody knows up until this point that he can read Sumerian.
Yeah, Sumerian. So he's like, oh, Titan's key. Oh, ambrosia.
So the lights go out.
Lights go out. He grabs Gabrielle.
Lights come back on. Xena and Patroclus find that she's gone.
Right.
They have a heart-to-heart, and Patroclus is like, hey, I'm truly worried about Gabrielle.
Right.
And Xena's like, well, we can go the back way. And he's like, well, why didn't we go the back way to begin with? She's like, because the back way could get us killed.
Right.
And he's like, oh, killed.
Awesome.
She's like, this is the Hall of Silence. Silence anything on you that can make any noise.
Right. Be absolutely quiet.
And they were doing pretty good.
They
for a
were!
little bit.
Up until Patroclus smashed a skull.
Yeah.
Stepped on a skull and then...
Then you see another oopsie.
Hmm.
And it's Xena when she starts running through the cave and she yells, run!
Yeah.
At the beginning, her mouth is not synced to say the word run at all. But they take off running. They sold the scene pretty well.
Yeah. Everything starts crumbling around them.
Mm-hmm.
So they make it into the hall, just as Gabrielle and Thersites get there too.
Well, we forgot where they were outside. And then you see your recycled shot from Beware Greeks bearing gifts.
Oof.
The skeletons on the wheels.
Yeah, the skeletons
spinning.
on the wheels is a recycled shot from Beware Greeks Bearing Gifts.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then Thersites and Gabrielle are talking about, what his first godlike act is going to be. And she's like, to cure world hunger? And he's like, no. To bring a plague down upon the earth.
Right.
And then they arrive at the
hall.
The hall at the same time.
Right. And he's like, get away from my ambrosia.
And then Xena tells Patroclus, you go one way, I'll go the other.
Right.
And Thersites is trying to talk Patroclus into joining him and becoming a god.
Yeah. So like, how about it? You want to be a god? And he's pretty much,
You and me gods.
Right.
And Xena's like, well, that figures.
Mm-hmm.
But Xena understands at this point that he's playing Thersites.
Right. So, Patroclus, doesn't he, like, lunge at...
He lunges at Thersites.
At Thersites. Gabrielle gets away. Thersites kills Patroclus.
No, he just stabs him.
He stabs him.
And then Thersites and Xena start fighting.
Right, and then she kills him. And then, as he's dying, he's reaching for the ambrosia.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't get it.
No.
He dies before.
Yeah, have you noticed how filthy the dudes get? I mean, the guys just get grimy and nasty. After his hand falls from the ambrosia, he leaves like this dirt smear where his hand is. Xena and Gabrielle never get filthy like that. Unless they're imprisoned.
Right.
Or like really getting their butts handed to them.
Yeah.
Like they can roll in the dirt and the sand and whatever, and they don't get dirty. Unless they're in a Roman jail cell.
Right.
Then they were filthy.
Uh-huh.
But I don't understand. The men must not bathe as much as the women.
I don't know. What was it?
Because Xena and Gabrielle take a bath together like every episode. Not every episode, but a lot.
In what, like a later episode, Joxer mentions something about taking a bath once a month or something?
Do I take my bath once a month whether I need it or not? Yes, I do.
Yeah. That's like, Okay, anyways. Yeesh. Once a month, that's terrible. But anyways, so then we got Patroclus.
Mm-hmm.
With his last
He
breath.
tells Xena that he's sorry he hurt her.
Right. Hands her wedding bracelet, which he kept.
Yeah. After he told her that he traded it to an arms dealer.
Right. And then he dies.
And she tells Gabrielle he was a good guy.
Right.
And Gabrielle's like, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
And then we go to the volcano.
The volcano where they throw in the ambrosia.
Gabrielle's like, well, I could see how this would, destroy the ambrosia.
She's like, no, it's not going to be destroyed. It's just going to be returned to the gods until a later episode.
Yeah, because the gods will, I guess, redeposit it where they need it.
Right.
For the episode The Quest. And A Necessary Evil.
Yeah. So, that's A Fistful of Dinars.
You want to go get a fistful of dinar?
Okay.
Okay. So, you guys...
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. We're wrapped up.
For this one, yeah.
Battle on XENITES.
Battle on.
Happy chakrams.
Yes. Until our next episode. Warrior... ... Princess.
I like the doppelganger episodes.
We meet Xena's first doppelganger. Did I say that right?
Doppelganger. Diana.
Princess Diana.
Not the one from England.
No, of Greece.
Or the one from the Isle of the Amazons.
Right.
So, don't confuse her with that.
Right.
Princess Diana of Greece. So until then,
yep.
You guys have a lovely rest of your day, night, evening. Video game time.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Until
have a great, grand, and groovy one.
Yeah.
And before we leave you guys, this episode did have
a disclaimer.
A disclaimer.
Right.
Funny disclaimer. It was no ambrosia was spilled, spoiled, or in any way harmed during the production of this motion picture. Thanks to the indefinite shelf life of marshmallows. Because the ambrosia was made of marshmallows.
Right. But not in later episodes.
No. Later episodes it was made out of fruit snacks. Compressed fruit snacks.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Fruit snacks.
I think we have some. We should have some.
We should have some fruit snacks.
Okay. All right. Shall we compress them to make them look like ambrosia?
We can.
Okay.
I think that's where they get ambrosia salad from. It's from Xena.
I don't know.
'Cause there's like a southern dessert called ambrosia salad.
Yeah.
And it's made with marshmallows. Maybe that's where they got the idea to use the marshmallows. Anyway, I don't know.
Alrighty. Until next time.
Babbling Bards, out!